My dad left the family and went without contact when I, 35 male, was 4. My mum remarried and had 2 kids with my stepdad. My stepdad never treated me poorly but always clarified that I was Dale, fake name, to him. He was not my dad. My mum never tried to fix the relationship. She honestly loved her new family and always saw me as a burden. That's what I thought, at least until it was confirmed after my freshman year of college when my mum asked me not to come home anymore. I blocked her after that phone call and have had no contact with her or my stepdad and half-brother since then. I do still speak to my half-sister, 25 female, at her insistence, but that's my only contact. It took me a long time to deal with basically being kicked out of my family. I grew to be pretty independent and thought I'd live alone until I met my fiancée, 28 male, 4 years ago. We've had a great relationship and her family invited me in with open arms. She comes from a typical suburban family and they're great. Over the years, I've told her about my issues with my family. She met my sister and never pushed for more until we started planning the wedding. When we started talking about who we'd invite, I talked about friends from college and co-workers, and she kept saying I should invite my parents. At first, I thought she was trying to gauge if I wanted to. I said I would not be inviting my parents. She said okay, but then brought it up again the next day. I calmly explained how much they hurt me, how growing up feeling you were unwanted and then having it confirmed at 19 really stunted my mental health. Over the years, I've realized it's their problem, and if they ever want to solve it, then they can initiate. But I'm in contact with my sister, and it's clear they're happy insisting I don't exist. It sucks, but it's their problem that they've thrust onto me. I can't be the one to solve it. I thought it had ended, but she's brought it up 2 more times. The last one was last night. We were about to start the save the dates, and she said, "Are you sure you don't want to invite your parents? I feel like I might just invite them on my side." And I snapped. I told her we should probably just throw the invitations away because if you can't respect what I've been through, then I don't want to marry you. I then went to our bedroom and fumed for a while. She came in to try to talk to me and I walked out, grabbed my keys and left. I came back around 11 p.m. after hanging with friends and slept on the couch. She left for work without a word to me and I don't know where we stand. Her behaviour is unacceptable, but I feel I may have gone too far. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Talk with her, lay all your cards on the table, and tell her you will never have contact with your parents, no matter what she or anyone else says. Also, make it clear that there won't be a wedding if your parents show up at the wedding. It's pretty clear she doesn't really respect your opinions on this, and since she's already threatened to invite them anyway, you should be 100% clear about what's going to happen. I feel like it's pretty likely that she's already been in touch with them and has already invited them with a plan to surprise OP with a reconciliation on his wedding day. Some people have martyr complexes where they feel like they need to force reconciliations so everyone can be one big happy family. Immature, selfish people will ignore boundaries in the pursuit of their delusions. Oh my god, now that you've said that, I can totally imagine her forcing this poor guy to have photos with his absolute idiot of a mother and family and then hang them on the wall of her house or something. The more I think about this woman's, the future wife's, actions, the more I'm disgusted. But honestly, before you marry her, you two are in dire need of couples counselling for a few months to see if she really can respect your decision and if a marriage would have a future. As it stands now, because she can't even be an adult and talk to you, instead she's throwing a tantrum, she's not wife material. If she doesn't respect you now, she won't respect you once you're married. I, 37 female, have 3 kiddos, a female tween, a male pre-tween and a female kindergartner. They've been ranting about wanting to go to Great Wolf Lodge for about a year now. There's a new one a couple of hours away from us in Maryland, but we just can't afford it. They know this and we've told them many times, but they still ask to go. My mother offered to take them too, which I declined because I didn't want to feel indebted to her. On Sunday, Hubs and I decided to take the family on a little trip to a mini golf place. We kept it a surprise for the kids, but when we told them we were going somewhere fun, they immediately thought it was Great Wolf Lodge. Hubs and I decided to pull a silly little prank on them. When we were driving there, we made it seem like we were going to GWL and the kids got all excited. Then we pulled into the parking lot just to pull back out, and they were disappointed when we did. They were crabby the rest of the ride, and while the tween had fun at mini golf, the other 2 didn't want to be there and barely participated. They're all mad at me now, but I don't think it was wrong since it didn't harm anyone. My mother is harping at me too about it. Am I the idiot for pulling a harmless prank on them? What was the joke? Explain to me how it's funny. Let's look at the joke here. You deliberately played into getting your kids' hopes up, knowing you were setting them up to be crushed. Then the punchline here is they believed you, and they shouldn't have. Now you and Hubs have to get a good laugh about how silly it was for your children to trust you and get to look at the heightened disappointment on their faces. A harmless prank should always have the person who was the target of it laughing with you at the end. If you're just laughing at them, that's not a harmless prank. It's basically bullying. You see, the kids thought they were going to one place and then they went to another, and it made the kids sad, and making kids sad is funny in OP's eyes. Why aren't you laughing at the sad kids? Yeah, you are the idiot. By the way, my mother-in-law took my boys to Great Wolf Lodge and they loved it. I don't feel indebted to her at all. I'm grateful that she wanted to treat them. The year is 2047. OP is sitting on a couch in a small, dingy room. She looks around the dark corners of what is now her home. She is a single divorcee. All her friends have moved on, busy with their own lives. Her husband died years ago. Her kids all live out of state and are busy with college and their spouses. She has grandkids but has never met them. It's raining. OP gets up and grabs a Lunchable from her old refrigerator. She peels back the plastic and makes herself a little ham sandwich. "Why does everyone hate me?" she asks out loud. "Guess we'll never know. Lady, it will be hilarious when they pull a fun prank on you when you're older and pull in at the good rest home before dropping you and your luggage off at the sketchy one being investigated. OP, you and your husband are mean." First of all, yes, I'm bitter. I'm over it, but bitter. I, female 25, met my ex-fiancé when I was 20 through one of my good friends. He's her brother. We dated from 20 to 23 and got engaged during that time. Prior to our meeting, he had a long-term relationship with another girl. I knew about it, but he assured me they were done. Well, they weren't. The day we sent the wedding invitations out, he called it all off. I was devastated and heartbroken like I'd never been before and have never been since. I truly thought that man was mine forever, and he just broke it off like nothing. 3 weeks later, he was back with the first girl. I don't think there was any physical overlapping, but emotionally for sure. They'd been talking since we got engaged. Anyway, so that was 2 years ago, and I'm all put back together now and have been for a while. I'm currently dating a phenomenal man who would never do that to me. I'm very happy, and while I had to take a few bumpy roads to get here, I'm grateful they took me to him. Anyway, recently my friend, his sister, let me know that he and the other girl are getting married. I was like, oh, lol, cool, good for him. I guess I said it sarcastically because she gave me a weird face. I was like, girl, what do you want me to say? She was like, maybe just be happy for him? I just said, okay, I hope he's happy. Well, that night I got a text from him. I don't even have his number saved, but I knew it was him because he said, my sister told me that you weren't enthusiastic about us. I understand, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything I did and put you through. I just left him on red, because, no, I refused to go there again. I told my boyfriend and he was like, maybe engagements scare him, lol. My boyfriend told me I was not obligated to accept his apology, and my mum told me I should have told him some harsher words. I didn't think about it again for another week, until my friend brought it up again. She was like, honestly, it's been bothering me how you reacted. He's still my brother, and I was going to ask you to help me pick out an engagement gift for them. I was like, girl, you have to be kidding. In no way, shape or form am I happy for them. In fact, I wish their relationship the absolute worst, and I would rather die than pick out an engagement gift for my ex-fiancé and his new fiancé. She got so damn mad at me, she stormed out of the restaurant. Maybe I was a bit harsh, and maybe I should be over it and be the bigger person, but I just don't care enough to do that. I think I'm allowed to wish him the worst, considering he made me apologise to every extended part of my family for receiving an invitation to a wedding that was never going to happen. I was heartbroken and humiliated. Am I the idiot for not being happy for him? Not the idiot. How is this person a good friend? Is she deluded? Your friend is acting awfully. She shouldn't have told your brother your reaction. It's just crap stirring. You didn't even react badly. Why on earth does she feel you need to be involved with picking gifts? That's obviously something you wouldn't want to do. I think this friendship has run its course. Oh, she likes her. She just likes the idea of celebrating her brother's wedding with all smiles, pretending he's a good person, and she figures OP's public acceptance and celebration of his wedding will achieve that. She clearly feels guilty and uncomfortable about it. Deep down, she knows what Bro did was wrong. Instead of putting the blame and onus on who it should be, brother, she puts the blame on OP. Why can't you just get over it already so we can enjoy our special day? Imagine blaming the victim in a situation for you feeling bad for them. Grade A mind mess. I feel like this friend told OP about her brother because she wanted to hurt her. And when she realized it didn't work, she went to her brother. I feel like both of them are disappointed that OP is not being hurt more by them. It's as if they wanted to rub it in to make OP sad or something. Either way, they're both idiots. This guy waited till the day before the wedding to leave. He had a long time before that to not drop you in front of the altar, practically. How much do you all want to bet her friend knew about the entire thing from the get-go? You might need to cut her off if she doesn't stop her shenanigans. My middle son Alex is a tween. He was a total mama's boy until he started school when he swung hard into being a daddy's boy. My ex and I divorced around that time. At least around me, my kids are not particularly modest. We're just 4 dudes who like being cold. Last week, Alex broke his leg after slipping on the stairs. He was with me that week and I had to help him get into the bath, wash him. I'm afraid he'll fall trying to wash on one foot and help him dress. Just faster if I do it. My kids went to their moms yesterday and she called me saying that Alex cussed her out. Alex is the sweetest kid in the world. He can get emotional but not angry emotional. I asked what happened and she casually mentioned she would help him take a bath and he told her to get the heck out of the bathroom. I asked if he was naked and she said obviously and he was fighting with her about helping him. I said you messed up. He doesn't want you in the bathroom when he's in the tub naked, let alone you trying to help him. I said, I bet you didn't even knock when you went into the bathroom. She said, oh, so it's my fault. I said, yes, it's your fault. He's a tween, not 4. You were quite thoughtless. If he were a girl, I would ask what she was comfortable with and not barge in. She told me she thinks he should have no Xbox for a week, and since it would overlap with my time, she wanted my cooperation. I said, no. If anything, you should apologize to him and acknowledge that you messed up. Then he'll apologize for cussing, cry, and never do it again. She says she can't believe my stance. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It sounds like he asked nicely first, and when she wouldn't leave, he resorted to cussing her out. A talk about using foul language is warranted, but he shouldn't be punished for standing his ground and asking for privacy. If you approach a vulnerable dog, he will growl, and if you keep approaching, he'll probably bite you. I'm not comparing your son to a dog. Still, he was most likely feeling more vulnerable than usual, and with a cast on his leg, he couldn't exactly reach for a towel or anything to cover himself. He lashed out as aggressively as he could to get his wishes met. The child in question cannot safely bathe on his own. OP made that clear, and then says the kid could have just taken bird baths for several days, but the child was already trying to take a bath. If mom had not gone into the bathroom and said child fell and exacerbated the injury or broke his other leg, then OP would be on here talking about how neglectful his ex is. These comments are wild. If this was a young girl, there would be an angry mob. My youngest is his age and I have all boys. I would never barge in. Yes, he shouldn't have used that language, but she would not listen to him. She kept forcing herself on him. She should have respected his privacy. Yes, have a talk about how he spoke to his mother, but anything more would be ridiculous. Not the idiot. I cannot get over how hypothetical these comments are. Children deserve privacy. I just couldn't imagine speaking to my parents like this ever, but especially not at his age. This is 100,000% learned from his father. You are the idiot, OP. Your son not only freely used swear words, but even cussed his mother out. In my household, that would get the Xbox taken away a lot longer than a week. That severely supersedes the bathroom issue, and a tween is still very much a child. His mother's assumption that she would help him dress and bathe is not a crazy one. Exactly how did you think he would manage that at her house when he couldn't at yours? A couple days I was driving to see some friends while my husband was at work. I will admit I don't always go exactly the speed limit, sometimes 5 to 10 over. When I was driving, the car in front of me stopped to take a turn. I wasn't too far behind the car and I rear-ended it. We took each other's insurance and the police filed a report. By the time I got home, my husband was already aware of the accident and absolutely flipped his crap. He said that if I wasn't in a damn rush, the accident wouldn't have happened, and if I'd kept my damn eyes on the road, I would have seen the driver slow down. I wasn't just going to be berated, so I left, but not before I told him that his reaction was a bit over the top, considering it was just a car. He locked the door behind me, so I slept in the guest room that night. Since that day, he hasn't really said more than 5 words to me, ignored all my texts and calls, and attempted to apologize. I'm still sleeping in the guest room too. Am I the idiot for telling my husband it's just a car after I accidentally totaled it? You are the idiot. So you were speeding, following too closely and potentially on your phone, gathered from context, not proven though, and you caused an accident. Also from context, you either do not work or you are part-time, because you could be hanging out with friends while he's at work. So it's likely your husband's responsibility to provide you with a new car, as well as pay your increased insurance premiums since the accident was your fault. So no, it's not just a car, it's a significant waste of time and money for him to have to clean up due to your negligence. Have you learned any lesson from this at all? It sure doesn't sound like it. If you don't learn your lesson, your negligence will result in someone's death. Please be smarter and follow safe driving rules and practices. You need to grasp he's concerned about your safety, the financial implications of the accident, and the potential for serious injury. Instead of acknowledging your mistake and taking responsibility, you dismissed his concerns by saying it was just a car. This shows a lack of accountability and understanding of the gravity of the situation.